Hey everyone, and welcome to another Adventures Out video. I'm here back in the Shropshire countryside doing a little bit of guerrilla filmmaking. I have stopped at a field on my way home from a work trip. I've got my drone in the boot and I found a field. I don't know who it belongs to. There is a house or some kind of building at the far side of the field. I could go and knock and ask if I could use it, but I'm just going to go ahead because hopefully I won't actually have to enter the field. But I wanted to find a field that was big and was not being used for crops or animal grazing or something like that. So this field, it just seems to be sort of meadow at the moment. The grass is quite short. The plan is I'm going to do some range tests with my HoverAir Aqua. So you will have seen in a recent video that I was testing the beacon controller and I was quite disappointed in the range I was getting. I've had some feedback from the sort of user groups and stuff like that, and it's not looking like it's good news in terms of the range of the drone. So before I sort of contacted HoverAir support, I thought I'd come out and do some proper comprehensive range tests. So what I'm planning to do is set the drone so that when it loses signal it will return to home, and I'm going to fly it out as far as it'll go until it essentially loses connection and then hopefully returns. But because this field is essentially meadow and set aside, if I need to go in the field I can quickly run across the field and go and grab it if it has to come down and land. It's a little bit breezy, but it's not the battery we're testing, it's not the range in the battery we're testing, it's the range of the sort of transmission from the controller, whether it's the phone or the beacon. So I'm going to do 3 tests. I'm going to do just my phone using essentially the phone's Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to do just the beacon and joysticks without a phone in it with my phone in flight mode, and then I'm going to do the beacon with my phone in it, with my phone in flight mode, and then depending if I've got time, my phone not in flight mode but in the joysticks controller, because I don't really want to have to put it in flight mode every time. And I want to see what kind of range I get. I'm going to put the published figures on screen. These are widely available on the internet, so these are not secret or anything like that. And these are what HoverAir claim is possible with the various methods of communicating with the drone. I don't think I'm seeing anywhere near these figures, and if I'm not getting anywhere near these figures, I think it's probably not going to be useful as a standard sort of cinematic drone. So anyway, let's get the drone out and do the first test, which is just going to be just using the phone without the beacon controller. There's also an update, firmware update on the drone, so I wonder if that'll fix some of the issues. Who knows? The patch notes don't give any information about what it fixes, so who knows. Well, I suppose it's great that there's an update already, but does anybody else get nervous about doing firmware updates? Especially when you're out in the field, not in the comfort of your own home with reliable Wi-Fi. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Firmware up. Kayak mode.
So we've got manual control. So what I'm going to do is make sure want it on set on return. I'll lower the return height to say 25 meters and leave everything as it is. Okay, so start recording again. Okay, off she goes. So there's the connection lost. But it's not returning.
Returning to the home point. Please ensure safe flight.
Okay, so I think we got around about 100 meters with that, which is about on the limit of what you'd expect for a phone connection, and I think that's pretty similar to what the published values are. Again, I'll put a comparison between what I got and what the published values are for a phone connection. The problem is I don't know if it actually returned automatically, because it kind of lost connection and then it reconnected briefly, so I thought while it was reconnected I'd do the manual return to home, and there was a bit of a delay, but eventually it did return. So I don't know if it returned because of my command or because it lost connection. Who knows? It's a little bit worrying. If we do get a longer range, that it goes out of sight and I can't return it, kind of thing. So the next test I'm going to do is with the beacon and joysticks, but without a phone connected. And you can use the screen to guide you, but it's quite small, so it'll be interesting to see how easy that is, because actually with putting a phone on the cradle is actually quite fiddly and not something I probably want to be doing while I'm out on my boat. So if it works pretty well without the phone, then actually that's a pretty good result for me. So let's see how we get on.
Manual control.
Now the question is, I don't actually know how we get it to take off. I just can't get it to take off with this thing.
Manual control. Take off. Takeoff timed out. Operation aborted.
Doesn't make any sense. I cannot figure out how to get this thing to take off using this controller. It's either my controller is faulty or I'm completely missing something. Let's try with just the single controller. Okay, I think we've got somewhere. It's the joystick. You've got to hold it up for a few seconds before it'll take off. Good job I found the tutorial on the actual beacon, otherwise I think I would have struggled. So let's put that back together.
Home point updated. The current location is now the home point.
Well, okay, so this is much more like it. I am pretty much at the end of the field, and I don't want to take it too much further because this little screen I can't really see if there's anything in the way, like a line, like a phone line or something like that. So, but I've got it 273 meters away, and I've only down to 3 bars out of 4 in terms of the signal connection. So this is obviously more like it. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I reckon that will probably reach the sort of 500 or something kilometers. I'm thinking of. To be honest with you, I'm surprised. I'm pretty relieved as well. But the problem is, why does it not work with that second joystick connected? Anyway, let's see if we can return it. I'm going to return it manually close by, and then I'm going to see what the return to home button does. I've lost, I can just about see it, but only just. So I wouldn't be taking it much further than that anyway, because I wouldn't want to lose sight of it. Here it comes. So it's now 75 meters away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the return to home function. What I don't want to do is just land where it is, but I couldn't find a way of changing the setting on the beacon, even though the tutorial suggests you should be able to. So it should be long press on the return to home button. So it's returning to near the beacon.
Returning to the beacon point. Please ensure safe flight.
Here it comes. Much better. Obviously I didn't take it to its full range because I was actually really surprised about what range it got there, so I kind of take it back. I think it should be okay, but for now though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone on the controller and repeat the test and see if I get the same range as I was getting with just my phone, or the same range as I was getting with just the beacon controller in single joystick mode.
Manual control.
See, we see the symbol is now a Wi-Fi symbol as opposed to the bar symbol that we're getting on the joystick only. Again, holding up on the joystick doesn't get it to take off. The only way I can get it to take off is using this button here. But then the joysticks do respond. So let's fly it out. So this is with Wi-Fi and stuff, everything on my phone. You can see I'm already down to 3 bars on the Wi-Fi. Actually, let me just turn my screen recording on. There we go, we're on screen record. So we're at 50 meters, still got 3 bars. 60 meters and we're down to 1 bar, which is about the same as I was getting with just my phone connected. Okay, so it's going a bit before it loses it. Okay, so it's just those first 2 bars, they disappear really quickly, but then it keeps going on that single bar. Now at 300 meters, don't want to go out the end of this field. Now we've lost connection. Okay, so I think it was returning there, but I'm just going to manually return it.
Returning to the home point. Please ensure safe flight.
Okay, here it comes. Okay, well, that performance was a fair bit better, around about 300 odd meters. That test, I had my phone with Wi-Fi and everything still switched on. Let's try with my phone on flight mode and see if that improves the performance a little bit. Now I've got some confidence that the thing will return once it loses connection. So put everything on flight mode. So that kind of confirms it's got to be using the beacon connection, because now the Wi-Fi is turned off on my phone, it's still got a connection to the Aqua.
Home point updated. The current location is now the home point.
So down to, it's flicking between 1 and 2 bars on the signal strength, around about 80 meters. Let's take it a little bit higher. So I think it looks like the performance is going to be about the same. I'm going to take it to the fence line unless it cuts out beforehand. So getting about 300 meters. So definitely a better performance with everything turned off on my phone, I reckon. So I'm not going to fly over the fence line, over the hedge. That's 350 meters. I'm pretty happy with that, so let's return it. Battery.
Returning to the home point. Please ensure safe flight.
Like I can't see it really that far away, so I probably wouldn't be flying it that far away anyway. You know, this is not for flights right over a city. Just going to do one more test while we're here, and that's a flight straight up just to see how good an aerial shot it gets.
Activating manual control. Please confirm.
See if we get the sort of height warnings and stuff. So we're certainly able to take it nice and high, up to the allowed maximum. So while we're up there, let's take some photos.
Low battery. Please return home immediately. 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 Low battery. Please return home immediately.
Okay, I think this is going to die.
Low battery emergency landing. Stay alert for flight safety.
Come on, you bastard.
Bird's eye.
Phew. That was a little bit hairy. It kind of lost connection when it was warning low battery, and then it started flying up again. Eventually it did start coming down again, and I was a bit worried there. Not gonna lie. Anyway, apart from that little scare at the end there, I think I'm a little bit happier with that performance. It was getting to the end of this field. This field is around about 350 meters long, so I suspect I'm getting about 350 to 400 meter range using the beacon controller, especially when I've got my phone in flight mode. If it's not in flight mode, it's maybe more like 250 to 300, something like that. I'll put the figures on the screen. I wasn't sort of paying attention at the time. I was too busy about worrying about getting the drone back. Anyway, that's probably it for me. Anyway, if you like this video, if you like to see more content like this, please do hit the thumbs up, and if you are new to Adventures Out, then please do consider subscribing to my channel. Whew, bit of drone anxiety there. Haven't really had drone anxiety with this drone yet, because it's I've been using it mostly as a sort of selfie drone, and always been very close to me, and it's waterproof, so obviously if it lands in the water it's not a problem. So that's the first time I've had sort of real drone anxiety, and I thought it was going to drop out of the sky then. Anyway, it didn't, and we're back in business. So yeah, I will see you in the next video.